All right, I've got a question for you. Is there an inner entrepreneur inside of you that's just dying to get out? Or some business idea that you've had for a long time that's just been kind of noodling around in your head that you wanted to do for quite some time, but you haven't been able to give yourself permission to really go for it? I asked this because I had a situation happen with a client not too long ago, and I realized that I think a lot of us struggle with giving ourselves permission. And so I want to explain the context of this and see if you can relate. So in March, I had a program called Never Work Again that is for women who they're burnt out on their jobs, they want to do something different, they're struggling with feeling stuck, and they're not sure how to figure out the next steps. So walking women through that program, a number of the women in my spring program decided that they wanted to leave the 9-to-5 work world and become an entrepreneur and try out this business idea they've had in their head. And so in a one-on-one session with one of these women, she was talking about some great circumstances surrounding her business idea, and she has a fabulous business idea. Honestly, it has potential to really take off. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want anyone else to steal it from her. And there was just a number of factors that really work well for her right now. Her spouse is supportive. They don't have a mortgage, and they don't have kids right now. They're young. So it's a really ripe opportunity to take a risk and explore something like this. But then she started to backtrack and talk about, well, I am in this good job and I do have the benefits. And I said to her, I sense that you're looking for me to give you permission to leave this job and go after this business idea. And she said, I think I am. And honestly, for me, I'm like, go for it. I had a successful business in Chicago in the early 1990s that I sold when I moved to Minnesota. I have a successful business now. I love the entrepreneurial world. But I said to her, you have to really give yourself permission to do this. And I think the challenge for her that I think exists for a lot of you out there is that you are surrounded by people that live in a 9-to-5 world. It's a very comfortable world for them. There aren't a lot of risk involved that you can get into in the entrepreneurial world. And so you risk a lot of judgment from others about leaving that good job or giving up those benefits or giving up that security. And I think that's what was happening with her and her family, just really worried about that judgment. But yet she's had this idea for years. And so it was all about talking her through and helping her think through how can she give herself permission to do this. And so for you, are you needing some way to give yourself permission to say yes to this idea that you've had for a long time? And if you're struggling with how to give yourself that permission, I'd love to talk with you about this. This has just been fascinating for me to help women work through this issue. So if there is that inner entrepreneur inside of you that's just dying to get out, but you feel like there's hardly anybody around you can talk to about this because they're in that 9-to-5 world and they're happy in that world, but you're not, reach out to me and let's connect. Click on the link attached to this video and it's going to ask you a couple of questions, and if it makes sense, I'm going to set up a time for us to talk and I'll help you think through how to really explore this entrepreneurial world that's so cool and fun, little less scary at times, but very rewarding, and see if it's something that might be a good fit for you that you would want to give a try to. So again, click on the link and let's connect and see if it's time for you to give yourself permission to get out of that 9-to-5 work world and really explore your dream vision for your life and that business idea that you think could be pretty successful. So again, if you're interested, click on that link and let's talk about giving yourself that permission. All right? Hope to talk with you soon.